Okay, in this video, we're just going to do a couple of examples parametrizing surfaces so that we can prepare to work with surface integrals. And so let's find first for part A a parametric description for the plane whose equation is 3x minus 2y plus z equals 2. All right, so planes have edges, right? Straight edges. And so rectangular coordinates make a lot of sense for planes. So for our parametrization for the plane, we can just still use x and y as our parameters, since z is defined in terms of x and y. So this is kind of a trivial parametrization, but it's nice because we don't have to change any coordinates. And we can say, all right, we'll just let our first coordinate be x, our second one be y, and we know that z can be described by 2 plus 2y minus 3x if we solve the equation above of the plane for z. So that's great. We have two parameters, that's all we need, right? 2 degrees of freedom, z is described in terms of those two parameters. This is what we mean by parametrizing, and we can let x go from negative infinity to infinity to get the entire plane, as well as y. Oops, not less than or equal to. So when we parametrize a curve, just like when we a surface, just like when we parametrize curves, we do need not just the parametrization or the vector function that defines that surface, but also the parameter intervals for both parameters. Okay, let's move to the paraboloid. And the paraboloid, this particular paraboloid, z equals x squared plus y squared, where z ranges between 0 and 4. This is symmetric about the z-axis, and it also has level surfaces or traces that are circles. So it might make sense here then to use cylindrical coordinates, which is the equivalent of polar coordinates in R2, but in R3. All right, so we can say, all right, if we use cylindrical coordinates, we're gonna usually need r, theta, and z, but we really only want two parameters. So we can see here, if we pay a little bit of attention as to how our equation for the paraboloid is written, we can see that we know that x squared plus y squared in cylindrical coordinates and polar is equal to r squared. So that means that we can define z in terms of r, and so for sure then we will only need our two parameters r and theta. Using those two parameters, we know that x is always defined by r cosine theta, y is defined by r sine theta, and now our z, we can define it in terms of r. And so again, from our equation, z will just be r squared. So that is one parametrization that we can use. So let's write it in a vector function. So I'll write, this is going to be vector function that depends on r and theta. And by the way, these two r's are different. This r means radius, this r means vector function. And well, x is just going to be r cosine theta, y is r sine theta, and z is r squared. Now, this paraboloid looks like as follows, right? A parabola looks like this. And so we need to specify the domain of our two parameters, right? So the parameter intervals. And so let's let theta go from 0 to 2 pi so that we can trace out the entire circular cross sections. And then r, well, notice that z was from 0 to 4. And if z is r squared, then r squared is from 0 to 4, which means that r will go from 2 to 0. We're going to keep r positive. So I just took the square root of everything there, and so r is going to go from 0 to 2. And we have our parametrization. So here's our vector function that describes the surface, and our two parameter, sorry, no, I checked the wrong thing. Sorry about that. Our parameter interval then will be this one and this one. Specify what will be the domain of theta, what will be the domain of r. And we have parameterized a plane using rectangular coordinates and a paraboloid using cylindrical coordinates.